the sight of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dvasta, destroyed. Samasta kilpisha, having all sins. Swasta, healthy. Amala, and pure. Antakarana, the core of whose heart. Abhyaya, approached face to face. Muni, the king, who was silent, due to full mental satisfaction. With an attitude of increased devotional service. Pranaya Ashrulochana, with tears in his eyes because of love. Pravishtaroma, his hair standing on end. Due to jubilation. Anamat, offered respectful obeisances. Adipurusham, unto the expansion of the original personality. Translation. As soon as Maharaj Chittiketu saw the Supreme Lord, he was cleansed of all material contamination and situated in his original Krishna consciousness, being completely purified. He became silent and grave, and because of love for the Lord, tears fell from his eyes and his hair stood on end. With great devotional love, he offered his respectful obeisances unto the original personality of Godhead. Purport: the word Tadasana Drasta Samasta Kilpisha is very important in this verse. If one regularly sees the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the temple, one will gradually be disinfected of all material desires simply by visiting the temple and seeing the deity. When one is freed from all the results of sinful activities, one will be purified, and with a healthy mind completely cleansed, he will increasingly make progress in Krishna consciousness. Again, the verse was Tadasana Drasta Samasta Kilpisha Swastamala Karano Muni Pravitta Bhaktya Pranayashtulochana Pravistavamat Purusham. As soon as Maharaj Chittiketu saw the Supreme Lord, he was cleansed of all material contamination and situated in his original Krishna consciousness, being completely purified. He became silent and grave. Because of love for the Lord, tears fell from his eyes and his hair stood on end. With great devotion and love, he offered his respectful obeisances unto the original personality of Godhead. Om Magyanadananda Shakananda Svakya Chaksumitam Tatsagunditam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Hangum Nangaiti Kirim Yakriba Tadaham Vande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Namo Vishnu Vadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutave Srimata Bhaktivedanta Swami Sanandi Namaste Saraswati Devam Go Bhavani Prachani Yavishesha Shunyavadi Pastyachari Satani Antya Kalpatarupascha Devasindhurinacha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Radha Srivasta Gauranga Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare. So here Prabhupada writes in the purports that the first line is the words, so the first line in the Sanskrit is one word, combined one word. Tadasana Drasta Samasta Kilpisha. Prabhupada writes, this is very important. It describes what happens. Maharaj Chittiketu, he has he sees the Supreme Lord, he has, says here, darshan. Darshan means seeing. Tat is a pronoun, is that the right word? Pronoun, which refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is the word pronoun? Pronoun.
It's not actually.
Huh?
No, it's pronoun.
Still. Yeah. Okay. So, tat is a pronoun which it means him or that, and that refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shesha. So, by seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Maharaj Chitraketu is completely cleansed of whatever taint that may still remain of sinful activity, completely purified. And this is the whole process. Prabhupada immediately mentions in the next sentence, therefore one should see the deity every day in order to become purified. We might say, but this is nice, but how can we see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face? How many actually sees him? Many actually sees him and has seen him, will see him. But still, where we are right now, how many of us will meet Krishna, see Krishna face to face? He will simply appear in front of us, like he has appeared here in front of Maharaj Chitraketu. The Bible says there's no reason to worry like that. He's appearing in front of us every day. We just have to be there. There's darshan. The curtain opens. Gaunitai, they are there. The deities are there. And there is no difference. Of course, we think there's a difference. But this is the problem is our eyes and our head. Yeah. No. Some screws are not tight properly. Something is not properly connected. So, because there is no, and it's not even that the leader is a representation of the Supreme Personality of God. He is the Supreme Personality of God. It's an avatar of the Supreme Personality of God. He appears in many forms. One of the forms is he appears as the deity. So when one takes darshan of the deity every day, one will become, the effect will be there, even though one may not perceive the Supreme Personality of Godhead, be completely aware how actually it is actually directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead right in front of him. But the effect will nevertheless be there. One will be purified from all material contamination of all sinful reactions. And then when one is purified, then one can actually see, because this is what is keeping us from completely seeing the Supreme Personality of God face to face. It is that we are still materially contaminated. So the process to get purified is to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his deity form, and what is the result will still be there, but now we will actually see that actually it is Krishna and Lord Chaitanya directly standing there, and they will reciprocate with us. The Lord will reciprocate with us. So the process of deity worship is crucial for our becoming purified, remaining purified, and becoming Krishna conscious. This is our process. We engage the senses in seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead and acting for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We don't deny the senses. That's the Mayavad process, is to deny the senses. Don't look, better plug out the eyes so they will not look at all the close the eyes, pull the vision within and simply observe the Brahman within. And but this is not all our process. Our process is actually a very sensual one, in that sense that it means, we use our senses. So we have eyes. So our process is to go and actually see the deity, and see, and see whatever is related to the personality of Godhead. Not try to close the eye. It's sometimes we try to practice Krishna consciousness by shutting out sense objects. The ideal would be to be like a horse. Horses, they have their blinders, you see when they and that is quite common. Even sometimes in downtown Copenhagen, there's some horse carriages, pulling a big wagon and beer. When you see the horses, lazy animals, they have these, they're almost like elephants. They're so big. I think that it's a Belgian race, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a Belgian breed.
Brabanders, very big.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just like, they're not elegant, they're just like, they really work horses and strong and big like anything. But you see, they have these blinders on. So, because otherwise, if they don't have blinders on, something might happen and then they get scared or something like that. So we think sometimes it will be good to have blinders on, so we cannot see all the Maya's sense objects, all the, whatever we are attracted to, the material sense enjoyments, the women, all the good food, all the, and also then we should have earplugs so we don't hear all this, the sense enjoying music like that. And this way we should, shut down the senses. But this is not at all our process. Our process is that we are using the senses in Krishna's service. And actually we want more senses, we don't want less senses. As the devotees, they say, why don't we have more senses? So, that's not, isn't that Rupa Goswami was praying like that?
Yeah.
How does he pray? I don't remember the Sanskrit. Do you know, you must know the Sanskrit.
Yeah.
No? You? But he said, Rupa Goswami, he's kind of lamenting, why don't I have thousands of tongues to chant the holy name of Krishna and millions of ears to hear the holy name of Krishna. So that's a devotee devotee who wants more senses, also wants more eyes. Like Indra, he has a special benediction. He has many, many eyes all over his body. And of course, the way he got them is embarrassing. You all know the story how he got them. Yeah, so no reason to. It's just embarrassing. So he was cursed. He was so lusty for women and female organs. So you can have female organs all over your body. Take them like that. But then it was changed. So at least he would have eyes all over his body. And actually, Indra always has that. There's different Indras in different manvantaras, and this particular instance is one. This is one particular Indra who got his eyes like that. But there are, in other cases, it's also described that different Indras got their eyes in different ways. Always something with a very beautiful woman. Once the demigods with Brahma, they needed a particular woman to cause some demon to fall down, and Brahma created a woman by taking a little of beauty from everywhere. And you don't remember her name?
I heard he told the story.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. So not mentioned, but there, Indra, he saw that woman was round. Then eyes immediately just naturally opened on his body if he was just looking. So, but once when Krishna appeared and Indra had a chance to look at Krishna's pastimes, then he said, "Now my eyes have some use." It's so that's we want to use our senses. This is our process is to actually use our senses, not to deny the senses. And when they are used properly, they will not engage in inferior engagements. And this was how Maharaj Ambarish was controlling his senses. Savai manana Krishna padana vinda yoga cham sivai kunta kunamavanane. I don't remember the last two lines. But he took his mind, he engaged first of all his mind in the lotus feet of Krishna. And that means in Krishna's service and everything related to Krishna. So he engaged his mind like that. This is our main problem, is our mind. The mind is always flying all over the universe, thinking of this, thinking of that, and it's actually an embarrassment what goes on in the mind. That's the first thing we have to control. Engage in Krishna's service. Think of Krishna, think of Krishna's service, think of Krishna's philosophy. Use the mind like that, deliberately use the mind. And then he used his eyes to see the beautiful form of the Lord, his ears to hear the talks about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, sense of touch to touch the body of devotees, his tongue to taste the tulasi leaf that had been offered to the Lord, and so on. This is how he was engaging his senses. And Maharaj Ambarish, he is given as one who became perfect in that. He's so exemplary that he is mentioned as one who has become perfect in devotional service through all 9 processes. He's practicing all, and he became perfect by all of them, by practicing all of them. But it's something we've heard before, but it is still so important to remind ourselves that actually it's our process is not a process of negation and denial of our senses, or denial of form, or denial of personality. No, this is the goal. This is what we are, and we have to understand. Actually, this is, for example, speaking about deity and like that. We have to actually understand what it is. Therefore, we need philosophy. We have to understand actually deity. Why actually it is Krishna standing right in front of us, because we're contaminated by impersonalism, which also here in the West has taken shape. That you have these religions here of the West, the Middle East religions, where pictures of God. It's a great sin to make a picture of God, and. So we are affected by that. We think that these are just idols, just false gods like that. But that's completely wrong. I had an interesting talk yesterday with 2 Muslim boys. I tried to distribute Bhagavad Gita to them, and I think we might even, in the end, if they had some money, they might have bought it. Actually, they became interested. They were from Pakistan. So actually, Pakistani Muslims are hard actually, they're not like the Arabic Muslims. They're actually closer to soft. They're actually really, their heart is with the culture, but they were just forcibly converted many generations ago. So, but they, they say this Hinduism, there's all these idols, and say no, it's not idols. It's actually genuine. This is actually is actually a picture of God. It's a picture of God. And how say they say God cannot be a picture. And let me say to you, it's like you have maybe you have a picture of your father. You look at it, isn't your father in the picture? And they would have to make the answer, father is in the picture. And I didn't give this example there, but sometimes I've done that. And actually, how you feel. You have a picture of your father. And I took that picture and I spit on it, and then I like that. And then wow, something fun. And I'm saying, it's just a picture. It's not your father's not there. Why are you so upset by that? It's not, So you see, actually, there is something in the picture. It's not that just that. You definitely get angry. It's an offense to my father and my feeling from my father like that. So there's something when you have a picture even of a mundane person. I mean, there is something there. Of course, but he's different from his picture. But when we have a picture of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then of course also the same thing is there. He is also present there. But on top of that, he is actually that. He is there actually, because he is everywhere. He is, everything. He's simply what is matter, what is metal, for example. Our beautiful Gorantai is made of metal. But what is metal? It's Krishna's energy. It's actually nothing but Krishna. So, and then when the form is there, and actually Krishna is there, his consciousness is there, it's like, this is what, like my father, my father is not my body, so when I relate to my father, why? I think this is my father, because the conscious person is inside, and therefore this is my father. When the consciousness is no longer there and the body is not there, then you lose affection for the body. But here also, Krishna is there. He's consciously there. He's so the devotee, when he sees like that, then he's actually sees that it is Krishna because it really is Krishna. Just to come back to this conversation yesterday, then of course they came up with this, but no, we cannot make a picture. Nobody has seen God.
Yeah.
That's another thing you can give that. Like nobody has seen God. I'm telling you, many have seen God. Many have seen God. You have not seen God. I have not seen God. That's doesn't mean that nobody has seen God. God has seen God. And he can see himself. And many have seen God. Why not? I mean, and so the prophets have seen God. Don't you think Muhammad has seen God? And he must have seen God. And many have seen God. It's not. This is always when you hear arguments like that. Nobody knows and nobody has seen or nobody has proved it like that. This means you have not seen. That's all. But that doesn't mean you have not seen everything. If you were able to really, if you would say for sure nobody has seen, you would have to be actually all-knowing. You would have to see everything and know everything. Then you can say, nobody knows, nobody has seen. But otherwise, the only thing you can say is that I have not seen. I don't know anybody who has seen. But who are you? Who are we that what have I seen? So many things are happening in this world which I've not seen. It doesn't mean anything, but who am I? So anyway, that was it. It was somewhat related to the topic here. Actually, talking to these two Muslim boys about pictures, about seeing God, and somehow they were a little curiosity world. They got at least they suddenly respected it and they see that actually there was a point. They had not thought about it like that. There's actually a point. And you know, but also you know, whatever the Muslim boys, whatever, but also some of us we are also contaminated by the same idea. So then when we see, you know, the deities, we think, this is just a statue, or this is just stone or metal, or like that. But then we have to remind ourselves actually that no, this is wrong. No, they're there. Because what is metal anyway? What is stones anyway? It's we have stone hearts. In any case, even though we may not completely see the Supreme Personality of Godhead when we have his darshan, but he is there, and we will get purified. We will definitely get purified. I know that. I mean, sometimes I have to admit I see Krishna when I have darshan. Sometimes. It's also sometimes I don't. No, but they are actually there. Once they are there, they are actually. No, they're there. They're smiling. They're giving them mercy and so on. But the fact that when we're not conscious, when we're sleeping, when we're stone-hearted, then they also reciprocate like that. But they also reciprocate differently. And even though our mission, our darshan is not perfect at the beginning, Prabhupada's point was here, simply by associating with the Supreme Personality of Godhead like that, then you will get purified, and then we will come to the point where actually we will see. And this is the goal, our goal of our whole process is to actually see Krishna face to face. We want to see God face to face. I think is that Josh Harrison who writes that in the introduction to Krishna book. And if God exists, I want to see him. Yeah.
I really want to see him.
Yeah, that's and he sings like that. So, and then Prabhupada he gave the inspiration to that. He instructed. You know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhupada. My Sweet Lord was written on the Prabhupada's direction.
So personal.
Yeah. So it's and it might even be a little over Judge Harrison's own, development. But Prabhupada was behind, so it's actually, Prabhupada who was expressing this emotion. And it was an amazing song. I mean, it was in our time it was the most popular record ever.
Two times.
Could be 2 times.
Yeah, 2 times.
Yeah.
After some time.
I mean, even more, it sold more records that one song than any of the Beatles' or songs like that. It was the most popular hit song. I know they later on had some, I've not been following hit songs for 35 years, I have no idea. Maybe some, but at that time it was the most. So actually, although Prabhupada was not credited, but actually Prabhupada's song became the most popular hit song in the 70s. And but then again, Josh Harrison said that if God's there, then I want to see him. I don't just want the process back, and there's no realization. We want to actually. That should be that's a devotee's greed. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? I want to see him. And